Today's video we start with a hydration chart. Am I hydrated? Aim for clear urine at least 10 times a day. Eat a diet rich in fresh fruits and vegetables. Drink a quart of water before meals. Thank you.
Next question, Harley. I have to present my English class on Thursday. Why we should not eat meat. The whole class eats meat. Do you have any ideas on how I can present it to the class? I'd love a response. Can you imagine what would Durenrider do if he had to go to class and give a presentation? What I would do would be bring a dog, bring the cutest little dog or cat you can find, bring it to class, and then maybe bring a knife to class, or a fake knife, or just draw a knife on a piece of cardboard and make it, whatever, and say, grab the dog in your arm, grab the fake knife, or the picture of a knife, and say, can anyone give me a reason why we shouldn't eat meat? And then that's your end of your presentation. That's what I'd do. I would say, do you have pets? Do you have pets? If we're meant to eat meat, why do we have pets? I could go on it for fucking 15 days talking about it. But the biggest one would just be grab the cute dog everyone can relate to, draw a fucking picture of a knife or cut it out of a magazine and put it to the dog's neck and say, can anyone here give me a reason why we shouldn't eat meat? Because I want to eat this. I want to eat this dog. I want to eat this meat now. Why shouldn't we eat it? There you go. Done. Just be honest with people. Have fun with it. Blow them away with the truth. If gluttony was a sin, God doesn't know about carving the fuck up. I truly believe that the system out there wants people undercarbed. Because when you're undercarbed, you're touchy. Even in the raw food world, people get undercarbed and then they're all like, everyone's all like fighting and shit. They get touchy. They can't understand constructive criticism. They see it as a personal attack. So even in the raw food world, in the fruitarian world, people don't get enough carbs and then they just take things personally. So one of the reasons I can keep such high spirits is high carbs, man. That's the fucking main reason. I don't start my day engaging, communicating with people until I got my sugar into me, because otherwise I can't communicate effectively. People say, "Oh, you're addicted to sugar. It's a fucking nutrient, man." Come out training with me. I'll deplete your glycogen, and then I'll put you on some mental health tests and see how you pass. You'll fail, because when you're glucose exhausted, you're on edge, man. So that's why I don't believe in emotional eating. Get your carbs in, and then communicate. Get some sleep, get some water, and then communicate. Hey Harley, love your videos. Could you comment on Tim Van Orden's video on lean muscles? He's advocating that he wants fatty muscle, not lean muscle. Tim's like me. He'll do controversial titles to get a bit of talk. Tim's correct in that the body does burn fat, but Tim will be the first person to admit that when he did the Mount Washington race and got put on a glucose drip, it was a glucose drip. It wasn't a fat drip. But yeah, no, me and Tim, we get along, and Tim's a great athlete and definitely inspired me a lot in previous years. I think you have to watch that video again and listen to the message Tim's really saying. He's spot on. He's right, and you need sugars to perform. Otherwise, when Tim ran out of glucose that time, and I think it was Mount Washington race. I think it was. He got glucose exhausted, and they put him on a glucose drip. And I've seen it happen to a lot of people. It happens to a lot of people. It happens to elite marathoners if they don't drink enough sugar. They get put on a glucose drip. A lot of elite marathoners take glucose drip the night before, so they don't have to eat much, so they can be super light, nothing in their stomach, but just be on a IV glucose drip, or just drink the glucose bags, the IV water, during the night time, so your glycogen stores are up. So Tim is both correct in that video, but he probably could have talked about it a bit more in depth, and talks about that carbohydrate is what fuels peak performance. as Tim proves, as being one of the best stair climbers in the world. Tim's doing that on sugars. You're not really burning much fat when you run upstairs. Does the salt from the sauce affect how many times you pee a night? And when looking at the label on the back of a jar of sauce, what should you look for as salt content? Thank you for your honesty and showing us what you eat day to day. Does eating cooked food slow you down the next day? Can you feel the difference between eating raw and eating cooked? Great question. When I'm looking at sauces, I look for under 300 milligrams per 3 ounces or 100 grams, roughly. Again, it's going to vary from people to people. You don't need to eat like I'm eating. If you want to eat just the fruits and the vegetables, that's the best. That's fine. That's great. If you don't want to do that or you can't get enough of it, then yeah, we've got backup plans. But I'm not saying ever that eating vegan pizzas is better than eating fruits, high quality fruits that's satisfying. But it can be a backup plan, can't it? If I eat salt at night time, yes, you urinate less during night time because salt, extra salt, holds water on your body. So if you want to get bigger, eating more salt can help you. If you want to be leaner and lighter, low sodium definitely. That's why all the models and boxers cut salt down before a photo shoot or a big fight, so they're a bit leaner, a bit lighter. Unless you're like a super heavyweight, it doesn't matter because your weight class isn't regulated. Thank you for your honesty. I like to be honest and transparent, 100%. Even if it gets criticised, I don't care. I want to be here for the people. I can handle criticism. I want to help. If you can't handle criticism, you can't fucking help people. Does eating cooked food slow you down the rest of the day, next day? I can't eat rice and stuff for breakfast or lunch. It's just too heavy. It's got to be a nighttime thing only. Does it slow down the next day? Depends what you're doing. If I've got to get up and do a 6 a.m. time trial, then eating raw food the night before is best. The day before is best. But if you're going to go out and do a long, slow day, it doesn't really matter. If you want to like just get your fucking rhythm straight away, 6 a.m. in the morning, then fruit's the go. Otherwise, it takes you about 10 minutes to warm up, eating the rice and stuff. Can I feel the difference? Because I'm eating so low fat, cooked vegan when I eat it, don't notice it too much. But if you're eating like high fat, greasy, fried vegan food, that's not the best, is it? It's not very healthy, so you're going to feel stodgy. It's like in a high fat raw gourmet, you feel stodgy. You still stodgy. So keep your sodium intake low, 1,500 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams, 2,000 milligrams. If you're doing a lot of sport, you can get away with more because you just sweat it out. But what I like to teach people is write stuff down, be objective, have a food diary, buy some little scales from a thrift store for $2 and weigh everything. Just write stuff down, just observe. Write down times you ate it, things like that. When you went out, did sport, how you felt. Write things down. And then slowly you'll get a template that works. Try not to be too emotionally biased on something, but just be objective and write things down. Experience it for yourself. That's what I've done, man, since like 1996. I started writing food diaries and playing with food and measurements and that. And that's why I can speak with confidence and experience, because I've been doing it for so fucking long. 17 years of measuring shit. Do you recommend eating high-carb, low-fat pancakes like unbleached or whole wheat flour, baking soda, coconut sugar, splash of almond milk, berries, and so then cooking pancake, non-stick pancake? What's your opinion on that? How about topping it with maple syrup? Haha. When you want carbs, complex carbs, it's your body wants fruits. So fruits is your best option always. If I was going to eat pancakes, I haven't had pancakes for years. If I was going to eat them, I wouldn't have them for breakfast. I'd have them for dinner only. And the fact, I wouldn't add almond milk because the almond milk's generally too fatty. I keep it lean as fuck. We're adding maple syrup to the pancakes, but trying to turn that pancake into a fruit. The pancake fruit has now become because it's got simple sugars on it. I think it's a healthy meal. Not as good as fruits, obviously, but definitely it's a lean McDougall style meal. And it's a lot of people can do it, man. So definitely I'd give it a thumbs up. With the mindset that fruit's your better option. But if you don't want the fruit, have your vegan pancakes. Low fat is key. Are you seriously recommending someone that is recovering from a disease like cancer, diabetes, Crohn's, etc. eat this way? If not, I think you should make it clear because misinformation could actually cost someone their life. Well, Here's the thing, I'm not a medical doctor. All I do is promote other medical doctor literature. We don't have any books nearby. Cancer. Dr. Gerson, Max Gerson. What did he promote? What diet did Gerson promote? 95.5. High carb, high sugar, raw, vegan. 95.5. Diabetes. What's his name? Dr. Neil Bernard. What diet does Neil Bernard clinically promote to reverse type 2 diabetes? 955. High carb, vegan, low fat. Crohn's disease. David Klein, most successful Crohn's author around. I don't know anyone on the planet who's had more success with Crohn's and colitis than David Klein. What diet does David Klein promote? 955. High carb, raw, vegan, low fat. Or eat some potatoes even, he says. Heart disease. This person is fucking serious. Dr. Esselstyn, Dean Ornish, what do they promote? 955. High carb, low fat, vegan. For clinically reversing heart disease. So, am I seriously recommending people do these diets? Yes, fucking oath, because that's what all the clinical science is promoting and pushing and showing. Read all the internet, read the people's experiences. And someone wrote, DTM is the man for that. Harley is all about athletic performance. I'm not all about athletic performance. If I was serious about athletic performance, I'll be on EPO, I'll be on synthetic testosterone, I'll be on human growth hormone, I'll be on insulin, I'll be on we've got GW15 16. I'll be on that. I'll be on ACAR. I'll be on selective androgen receptor modulators. I'll be on a whole host of shit if I was serious about athletic performance. I'm interested in athletic performance, but I'm not dead serious about it. Because if I was, I'd be on all the gear, all the top athletes are using. But what is good for your health is good for your physical performance as well. So let's say we had an athlete on all those drugs, and if they did my dietary and lifestyle advice, they would get even better results. Even better results, because the drugs work better when you're healthier. So that's a funny one that people will... I mean, yeah, I could go on about. I won't go on too much more about that one. Harley, on your recent podcast with Ben Greenfield, you should have asked him outright if he thinks he could have any sort of half-decent performance on low-carb diet without any stimulants. Would have been nice to hear a response to that question. I did a podcast with Ben Greenfield recently. We had a good chat with both of you. We're on the same side of the fence in terms of sport, but when it comes to diet and lifestyle, we're on different ends of the spectrum. Ben says he's a low-carb athlete, but then next month he'll write, I don't actually subscribe to anything. I just eat what I want when I want. So it depends what time of month it is that Ben's eating low carb, or he says he is. And Ben's a cool guy. We had a good podcast. We'll do some more together. Nobody even if you're on stimulants, it doesn't matter how much stimulants and drugs you're on, you can't have your best athletic performance on a low carb diet. It's just impossible. It's fucking impossible. I even sent a challenge to Peter Attia, who classifies himself as some sort of half-decent cyclist, said, Pete, get on Strava with the power meter and show us your watts per kilo, and then maybe I'll take you up on a challenge up Mount Washington. Until then, you're just talking shit. Because you can't perform on low carb, man, compared to what you would on high carb. You can't. Let's see Peter Attia do 5 watts per kilo for 10 minutes. No fucking chance. Not even Ben Greenfield could do that. I mean, maybe if they got some carbs into them, but even then, they'd have to lose a lot of weight to get that sort of watts per kilo. So it's, even with stimulants and drugs, even with EPO, you can't perform well on a low-carb diet compared to what you would otherwise. Because it's all that glucose-derived ATP. Everyone admits that. Everyone knows that. Even Ben Greenfield will say that. You should get your body fat percentage checked. Give us a real reading so we can see. This will prove that your method works for sure. People can't argue with medical facts. Of course you are thin, and I know you are low fat, but just show it up. If you want to see how lean I am, just fucking get me to take my shirt off, man. Just let me to flex the biceps. That's how lean. You can't really see because of the lighting. But you look at other videos. Look, when you can see their fucking cheekbones, here's a picture of Lance Armstrong, man. Same body fat as Lance Armstrong on a full cycle of performance-enhancing drugs. Same leanness. Maybe I could get a little bit leaner, but even Lance didn't hold that leanness for longer than 4 weeks of the year. No, it's just for the Tour de France. So I can show you body fat percentages, but they don't really mean much, because the lighter you are, the harder it is to have 1.8% body fat. Does that make sense? Just look up the truth about body fat percentage. It's not that accurate. Basically, body fat percent, I talk about it, I troll with it, but it doesn't mean much, because it's more based on your total body mass, your fat mass. That's more important. Basically, look at someone. If they look like if they look like Duran Heider, who just stepped out of a fucking prison war camp or the Tour de France, they're fucking lean. Otherwise, they're not. Are you concerned about your pancreas due to constant sugar intake? I would be concerned about my pancreas if I was eating a high-fat diet, not high-carb, high-sugar diet. It's not an issue at all. Why don't you eat some protein sources? Ethics? Thank you. Plants have got protein in them. Every single plant food has all 8 essential amino acids. If you're into protein powders and stuff, you can get all the fucking pea protein and everything. You can eat as much fucking plant. You can fucking constipate yourself on 600 grams of plant protein a day if you want, man. You can fuck your kidneys up if you want, eating that much protein. You do what the fuck you want to do. But I do eat protein. Actually, I eat amino acids from plant foods. Every single whole raw plant food contains all 8 essential amino acids. So you get enough. That's the funny thing, people. That's good. That's a good sign. People with that sort of level of nutrition wisdom are coming to my channel and asking these questions. It means that I'm reaching the mainstream audience. That's fantastic. That's a valid question. It's a question I used to ask. Hold it in your cheeks just to chew it. Chew it up. Mix your food with saliva. Definitely. Chew your food, relax. That's what I love about the smoothie. I can have it on my desk, do my work. It's the ultimate time management food. Fucking awesome. It was a Harley, don't you want to get a Snickers bar? Drink 20 bananas with dates and sugar or whatever. Sweeten the fuck out of it. Do you really want to eat a Snickers bar for that? For me, the answer is no. We eat Snickers bars. I used to eat Snickers bars back in the 90s because I wanted something sweet. And they're cheap and they're easy to get and they're about 350 calories, so it's sort of satisfying. But full of fat, full of toxic dairy. Snickers never really satisfied. Fucking 2-litre jug of banana smoothie, that fucking satisfies you. Satisfies a sweet tooth. Done. So I've got here, and I'm going to have a little snack, 500 calories, got guava juice, I've got a ginger, 700 calories, might do a mountain bike race in 3 hours time, so this will be a little carb hit. Around 200 grams of sugars, if you have 3 hours to digest it, and then fucking hit it on the mountain bike. So if you're going to do a race or a hard event, hard training session, leave 3 hours between a meal and the event. You can have a little handful of food, but if you're going to have a meal, this is a bit of a meal, leave 3 hours so everyone can digest better. That's the beautiful thing of fruits, sugar foods, is they digest so quick because there's no fat and protein to hold them up. Fat and protein is hard to digest, slows up digestion, means you're going to have blood flow to your legs where you need it most, in your heart. So there you go. So that's a little tip there. Clean food for maximum blood flow. So heading up for a bit of a spin, heading up the mountain loft. I was going to do a bike race tonight, but got to get a license. I haven't had a license for a while, so got a racing license. Here's the funny thing, my hematocrit's been pretty high, so I got to work out what to do with that before I get a license and risk getting a positive doping test, or to work out what's going on with my hematocrit. The highest I've seen is 49. If it's over 50, you get a suspension. So what you can do is get like a doctor's certificate and say it's naturally over, whatever. Anyway, I look like a fucking doper, don't I? Fucking look like a smack addict on EPO. Heading up Mount Lofty. Heading up Mount Lofty. I'm gonna rip the clothes off Mount Lofty. I'm G'd up, been sitting on the computer all day. It's about, what time is it, 5 o'clock something. Gonna rip up Mount Lofty. Mount Lofty, I've got the record up here, 22 minutes 31 on Strava. No one has beaten that record. So today I'm going to push it. Will I get a PB? I don't know. The wind conditions aren't the best, but I'm just going to fucking unload on Mount Lofty. Having a discussion this morning with Doug, Mr. Doug Graham, about my videos. He said, I don't understand how you're eating pizza the other night, but then you said when you're eating pizza, the reason why you want pizza is because you don't eat enough fruit. So why, Harley, didn't you just eat some fruit? It's a good question. I just want to give the viewers some options, some backup plans, and explain that there's no such thing as emotional eating. If you want pizza, you need carbohydrates, so eat carbohydrates. Ideally, if you want, from the fruits. What often people do is they're like, just starving all day, not eating enough, come home and go, fuck, I'd like to get some pizza. And then so they get pizza and go, oh, I'm an emotional eater, you know, just eat some fruit then. Oh, I shouldn't really be eating, you know. But that's just crazy. What people are doing wrong is they're buying into the belief that you can, this is where me and Doug differ. We agree on most points. Respect Doug a lot. Promoted Doug so much over the last 7 or 10 years almost. Rate Doug a lot. We disagree though on the emotional eating thing. I believe it's not possible. Example today, I've eaten about 3,000 calories, 3,500, but I could definitely smash down 3 pizzas after this run. Or, if I ate another 20 banana smoothie, I couldn't eat the pizzas, could I? Because you physically can't. Some people say, you don't need to eat that many bananas. That's too much. Everything you do, Harley, is too much. There's too much running, it's too high heart rate, it's too much. It's too much fruit, it's too much pizza. It's just too much. I live in a life of excess, what can I say? So, why am I eating pizza when we have the largest raw food website on the planet? I want to show people the importance of eating a high carb diet. And I'm broadening the audience. So I promote both. Promote the high carb McDougall vegan style, promote the high fruit raw thing, 30 bananas a day, whatever you want to call it. We've got the largest raw food website out there. We always will, because we're so passionate about getting the message out there. And we're not driven by money or whatever. We're not driven by fame, we're driven by emails of people going, fuck man, I've got it, Harley, I fucking nailed it on the bike, I know how to eat my fruit, or I know how to get a vegan pizza, or whatever. I'm losing the weight, I'm feeling great, I can do this anywhere in the world. Thanks a lot. So that's why we give people options. Options for the win. I'm almost at the car park now, park my bike, and smash up this mountain. Let's do it. After we go up to the peak. Gains. It's a fucking good climb. I've got a bit of a crowd here tonight. So we'll see if, no one's ever beat me up this climb ever. I've got the fastest time recorded on here on Strava. Got the Garmin 310 on. Just waiting for the satellites to load up. I'm gonna hit it fucking hard. It's all about, as Tyler Hamilton says, when he was blood doping, don't rely on the drugs to push you. You gotta push yourself. Alright? I'm not using blood doping, I'm using beetroot doping. You gotta rely on up here to push for pain. You can't avoid pain, you just gotta embrace pain. So the whole way up this mountain, I'm just going to be thinking positive thoughts, just breathing deep, getting the fresh air, this mountain air. This is what it's about, man. Deep tissue cleansing, fresh oxygen. Bikram yoga, breathing farts and detox, Come up Mount Lofty, go to the open air, deep breathing, deep cleansing, deep oxygenation at a heart rate of 100 beats a minute. Whew. So I just did that. Can you see how my face isn't really red? I've just finished the run. fucking flat out. I did like I'm pretty sure I got the record for up and down. A little bit off my slowest time ever, fastest time ever rather, up. I'm going to go home now, upload the Strava, check it out, but I'm pretty impressed with how fast I ran for November. I've never ran that sort of fast a time in November. Normally I'm peaking around February, March, so it's going to be an interesting summer. It was great. I just fucking love that meditation, just there's people on the track, you're going around, you're coming up on them so fast up the hill, they're just going, they get startled. I'm running up the hill so fast, they're just like, they can't get out of the way fast enough. They hear me coming, they're like, just so fucking undercarb, man, so fatted out, but it's good fun. Got the vegan shirt on, mate, representing, smashing on the vegan path. Let's go home now. I'm going to upload to Strava and check out how I did. Strava is very good fun. Let's go check it out. Let's go home. Not sure what's wrong with this little guy. So here we are in Strava. I called the jog good arvo for a jog. It's more like a fucking sprint than a jog, but we were just trolling. So you can see I've got the course record on the Waterfall Gully to the Mount Lofty Obelisk and back. That means I've got the fastest time up and back. I'll show you what it means. CR means course record. It doesn't mean calorie restriction. Let's have a look at the overall leaderboard. Let's check it out. Waterfall Gully to Mount Lofty and back. So we can see the profile here. Goes up to the mountain and you got to go back down. My best time during a lot of vegan power, 39:24. First person under sub 40 ever recorded. 293 people have done this run. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's just go back to the run and have a little analysis. This is the one that I like to look at. So this time I did 23:46. My best time is a 22:30. So this is a great climb because the wind doesn't really make much difference. So it's really good to see where you're at. So you can see there's 563 people, and I'm king of the mountain on this one. And I tend to stay that way. So this is great. And this is the most popular running climb in South Australia. It's a beautiful climb, and it's free. Just get up there and go. So Strava is a great little tool to see where you're at. It's good to track your training. So if you look at my heart rate, I never went into anaerobic. I kept it all aerobic. So that's just basically how I use Strava. It's quite a great little website. I highly recommend people get on Strava, get a Garmin, get on there, learn about your body, learn about how it works, and you'll want to take better care of it. So back home now, got my water here, just smash that down on the way home. We've got 3 pizzas for dinner tonight. I've got 2 more in the oven. This is what I call the 955 pizza. 90% carbs, 5% protein, 5% calories and fat. Very lean. I've got the recipe down below in the description text. Have a check down below. So if you want a pizza option, you always have this. People say, what do you reckon? Well, raw pizza, raw pizza, man, is just full of fat, full of grease. Always load up on the carbs, be it fruit or starch. So if you want to have your fruit, have your fruit. If you want to have your pizza, have your fucking pizza. I don't know what people are trying to do. Don't try and recreate a raw pizza if you want pizza. Have a fucking pizza. Or have some fruit. Bottom line. There you go. Let's get the camera going. Smash this baby down. So that's the end of pizza number 1. I'm watching on YouTube, watching 2003 Tour de France Stage 8, Alpe d'Huez. It's a pretty cool stage to watch. I was actually there in France, watching on Alpe d'Huez that day. That's pizza number 1, bub. I'll go to number 2. Pizza number 2. Let's get to it. Let's get back to the Tour de France.
The Austrian rider is now back in the fold. Nobody else from Sandy.
Last piece, pizza number 2. Just a little bit of pasta for I put on a bit of a pizza and pasta night tonight. Watching the Tour de France. Carbs, mate, carbs.
We'll bring it down.
Right, let's go get some pizza. Let's finish it off. Pizza number 3. Pizza number 3, put on a jacket. Good cheekbones. Carbs make you fat. Carbs load on the body fat. Look at Wheat Belly. I saw David Wolf did a little promo for his little longevity warehouse, whatever it's called, longevity conference. And his guest speaker is William Davis, the bacon and egg producer, the bacon and egg promoter. What a joke. Here's a little wheat pizza for William Belly. Put some beetroot on that for the extra nitrates for the endothelium cell health. Bit of nitric oxide boost. Look at that. So pizza round 3. Let's get to it. Last little bit of crust. 3 pizzas and a bit of pasta. Pizza pasta feast. Man, I am done. Satisfied. I'm ready to go to sleep. I'm going to go outside. Maybe clean the backyard. Have a bit of digestion, stand up, and hit the bed. It's almost 10 o'clock. A little bit late eating. Been up since 5:30. Ideally would have wanted to finish eating around 7 o'clock, but we did that run instead, so it's all good. Back to start again tomorrow. You see them? I'm knackered. I am knackered. I feel so satisfied. Oh, what a day. What an awesome day. See you soon.